Good morning, friends, and all gathered here today. I've been given the topic of discussing the new normal lifestyle. Now, all of you are familiar when we talk about new normal, we are talking about 2020 onwards. So, let us look at how we can review that and implement our lifestyle and changes as required. A bit about myself. I'm a world authority on Surya Namaskar and Shivambu. I'm an occupational therapist and acupuncturist of repute. I'm a social thinker and a freedom from disease advocate. We have a freedom from disease series on YouTube at the moment. I'm a working educationalist for the welfare of future, which is all of you young children. A nationalist and patriotic Bharatiya with many more dimensions in the sports, arts, heritage, etc. etc. So let us look at what has happened in 2020. COVID arrived and life changed. We ended up having a mask, hand washing, sanitizers, being asocial, or being forced to be asocial, which is not like Indian society. We are a warm society where we like to meet people, interact with people. Schools became computer schools. Home was on public display. Parents suddenly had issues because they had to rearrange their lives a lot. Fitness, play, and social activity was reduced tremendously. Festivals like Diwali and Ganpati were not celebrated in their usual way. There was no physical contact with friends, teachers, etc. So life changed a lot. And where do we go from now? So new thinking has taken place. Over the last 8 months, we have rearranged our priorities a bit, and schools are opting for strategies to teach you coping skills suitable for the new environment. All of you must remember, every one of you as students, that the school teaches you to manage in every situation. I'm going to repeat that. The school teaches you to manage in every situation. And visionary schools like yours are taking a proactive stand and guiding students better. This, of course, brings newer challenges for all students, teachers, and parents. Sitting at the computer all day long is a dread for better health. We all know that. So, what are the health issues now that we need to readdress in this environment of COVID? We all have physical inactivity. We have increased brain activity, sitting in front of the computer, doing homework, puzzles, etc., all the time. Overuse of eyes, technology benefits, technology disadvantages. Harder working environment. We are not conditioned to sitting at home, working from home, etc., etc. Our whole life has become totally technology dependent. If you don't have electricity, if you don't have Wi-Fi, if you don't have internet connection, if you don't have a computer, you're suddenly cut out from the world. We are ending up having less time for ourselves because work routines have changed from 8 hours to 9 hours, 10 hours, etc. Study periods have changed from 5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours with lots of homework again on the computer to be done, and it just takes away a lot of time. Social networking has become only an online phenomenon. We do not have interaction like we did before, whether it's young kids or older kids. And we are forced to become slaves of computers and phones. We have forgotten the reality of life, of how it used to be with all the kids playing together, all the families getting together at functions, marriages, festivals, etc. And I've left the one till last, effect of EMR. The effect of EMR is electromagnetic radiation. Now, this is something all of you kids have to be really aware of, and I'm sure teachers are already aware of. There is a lot of evidence being shown that long-term effects of EMR are not good for very young kids. Even as adults, it's not the best thing, but we have to live with it. But very young kids is definitely not on. So I'm talking about very young as in from birth till about 8-9 years of age, when the brain is growing very fast. And we might talk about that later on another forum. So, what are the education issues related to all this? We have become very technology dependent, parental dependence, affordability and its consequences, teachers redesigning of teaching material. Now there is only two-dimensional teaching. You can only see things in length and breadth. Whereas in the school scenario, in the physical scenario, you had a three-dimensional teaching possibility. Practical education has nearly become non-existent. We tend to call everything virtual reality, which is not the same, unfortunately. The teacher's role to draft skillful education packages on computer is another big draining demand for the teachers. Partly some of them are not trained, and even if they are trained, they cannot put everything they wish that they would have done in the physical scenario on computer. And the big question is, how do we overcome this successfully? Let us look at a little bit on the global scene of what COVID-19 in 2000 has brought us. Modi ji has created a change in Bharat over the last 7-8 years, and more so evident in the last year. And world expectations and understanding of Bharat and its values. History is being rewritten to state actual facts. A recent production in, I think it's England, Bharat had the highest GDP for the last 1500 years, from 180 or the start of the AD millennia to 1500 AD. We exported over 66% of the world's need. This is by an outside body making a study over the last 2000 years. We were leaders in education, culture, workmanship, raw and finished materials across most areas. The last 500 years have seen massive changes to our beloved Bharat. But our culture, our arts, our music, our dance, our drama, our warfare technology, our warfare strategies, the martial arts we used to have, our health system, our yoga, dhyan, our Surya Namaskar, as the ancients practice it, our pranayam, our Shivambu, and our Kam Shastra have all stood the test of time, and they are works of literature which are being followed at scientific level, at cultural level, at implementation level to bring glory back to our country. Continuing on the global scene, today Bharat is accepted as a leader in lots of fields. Let us list some of them: space exploration, medicines and health options, pharmaceutical manufacture. We know we supply a hell of a lot of drugs to the Western world. Right now, COVID, we are supplying nearly 70% of COVID vaccines to the world. When the malarial medicine was short supply around the world, we were supplying it to 70 or 100 odd countries. Tourism, of course, India is a haven for tourists. Our ancient culture cannot be taken away from us. The variety of foods and fashion we have going across each state, the dance and music, the variety of dance, traditional dances we have. I'm not even going into the folk. The traditional dances we have something like about 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 types of dances. And I think music on a gross scale we have Hindustani and Carnatic music. But I'm sure there is more. When it comes to corona care in the last year, we are one of the best managed countries. Modi ji has recently been voted the best leader of the world. International Yoga Day is celebrated every year now, since Modi ji made it an International Yoga Day. And recently, we also showed our skills on the cricket field, Bharat thrashing Australia in the cricket test series. What does this mean to all of you? And that is the important bit. Firstly, the youth of today are more dashing and more capable. So hats off to you all, keep it up. The other important thing that all of you have to remember, fitness and health are paramount. If you don't have fitness, If you don't have health, you cannot deliver anything else. I cannot study hard, I cannot play hard, I cannot practice hard, I cannot be successful if I'm a sick man. The world today accepts that better immunity means less disease. Even though they have got all these drugs and everything, they have come to a subtle understanding which is not highlighted as much as we as natural therapists tend to do, that immunity means less disease. But the world is beginning to accept that. So what is it we need to do? We need to boost our immune system. And what do we mean by boosting our immunity system? We need to increase our immunity, and that is the best option to avoid infections. We need to remember that if my immunity system is strong, disease will not attack. If my security system is strong, enemies won't attack, thieves won't attack. If my armed forces are strong and the borders are well controlled and patrolled with power, enemies will not threaten us. And that is the rule of nature, not my rule, nature's rule. So what are the ways to improve immunity? And let's look at some of the nuts and bolts of what we need to look at from your perspective. Of course, this is not a class where I'm going to teach you everything. I'm going to give you a touch of what is possible. And if the school and all of you all feel that you would like to go more, we are happy to conduct bigger courses over the next few months and years to develop you all into better, healthy people with improved immunity. So what are the ways to improve immunity? Breathing exercises is one. Muscle development is another. Good healthy food is important. Being vegetarian is a very important criteria today. Staying focused on your plan. So if you decide to do some of these things, you need to stay focused. You can't do it for 2 days and forget and say, I did it for 2 months and now I'm okay. Remember, the human body needs nourishment every day. You cannot sleep once a month and then say I'm okay. You cannot eat once a month and say I'm okay. You have to eat routinely, little bit every day, 2 meals a day, sleep on time, do your regular exercise. So the body is phenomenal when it's looked after. So it can't be just a top of the head 2-day affair. It has to be focused on your plan. So make sure it happens every day. Sleeping on time, this is very important because you need to recharge your batteries. Everybody knows about the mobile phone. You can't let it get discharged completely. If you let it get discharged completely, you do harm to the body, harm to the phone. So keeping that in mind, make sure that you do not discharge yourself. So get yourself regular sleep by sleeping on time. The human body is phenomenal. It likes discipline. So if you have a disciplined lifestyle, the body will pay back. Doing eye exercises. Now I have specifically included eye exercises which we didn't in the past purely because today the need is everybody sitting in front of the computer, TV screen, phone, and their visual output is being abused. And we don't seem to have a change for that because all your education is going through visual medium, especially high taxing visual medium where there is lots of pixels and lots of moving pictures, etc. So doing eye exercises has been added. Acupressure for health, so whether it's the hands, whether it's the feet, a bit of acupressure will help. And regular oil baths. Now as children, it is very important once a week that you should have an oil bath. We'll talk a bit more about all these in a minute. So what's the natural breathing pattern? Now the natural breathing pattern is pretty shallow. We all breathe 4, 5, 6 seconds only per breath. Okay? So the low, slow, deep breathing pattern is important. Let's look at what Vaishali is demonstrating. She's starting to breathe in now. Slowly breathe in. See how she takes a deep breath. Now she's still breathing in. It may not appear she's breathing in. She's still breathing in. And holding. Now she's breathing out. So she held her breath for nearly about a minute. Now she's breathing out slowly. And now she's holding again. And her breath is finished. Now her breath took nearly 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Now that's the sort of breathing that is important because our bodies depend on breathing. Breathing is a great waste remover. It changes the acidic level in the blood and makes it alkaline, which is better for health. A classic example I would like to give you here, a difference between a well-tuned motorbike and a poorly maintained one. If I had a motorbike which is supposed to give me 40 kilometers per liter as an average every time I ride around, if it starts giving me only 10 kilometers per liter, I'm not going to use it carefully. I'm going to go back to the mechanic, I'm going to go back to the manufacturer and say this is rubbish. But we live with our lives breathing shallow, breathing terrible, and then wonder why we don't change ourselves. So worth thinking about. The next one is exercise. While I'm talking about exercise, let us look at how we recommend exercise. We are going to talk about two exercises. Here we are looking at a slow squat where she is sitting down slowly and standing up. I would like all of you all to stand up from your chair and sit down very quietly, very slowly, and see how it feels. And you will find the slower you go, the harder it is. We were going to do a demonstration of the same slow squat with a backpack of about 10 kilos, but unfortunately, because of paucity of time, we cannot do that, so I'll move on. And then I will explain the difference between a normal squat and a slow squat and how it translates into Surya Namaskar strategy. On the left here, Vaishali is demonstrating a grade 4 level 4 Surya Namaskar where she is doing breathing control but without resistance. And on the right, Kapil is demonstrating grade 6 level 4 which is nearly 8 steps higher. And believe me, it is a lot harder. It is nearly about 30-40 times harder than what Vaishali is doing. Now this Surya Namaskar takes 2 minutes. And during this period, they are regulating their breath. And this is the sort of exercise we would like to bring to all of you all so that you all can improve your abilities, improve your flexibility, improve your strength, improve your breathing ability. And breathing ability change, fitness change means better blood supply to the brain. When we have better blood supply to the brain, naturally the brain starts working better. So your studies, your attention, your concentration, your ability to memorize all improve drastically. We are very surprised to find successful outcomes for students who implement Surya Namaskar in their life and find that their studies become not a headache anymore. It's a lot easier for them. So well worth it, and we would like to work with you all regarding this. So moving on, healthy eating. Of course, remember I said body is a disciplined body. So you need to eat on time. Try to have only 2 or 3 meals a day. Don't keep snacking all day every time. Try to keep at least 16 hours between dinner and the first meal in the morning. Become vegetarian. It is being proven today across the world that meats, fish, eggs are not as beneficial to the body. But that is for another day. Similarly, for people who might have minor issues with allergies and stuff, keep away from all whites. Dairy is particularly not the best anymore because we don't get natural milk. Cows are treated with antibiotics and medicines, etc., and that runs into our system, including hormones. Food for parents. Do not overcook your food. Try to reduce your sweets and eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Sleep. Sleep on time, wake up on time, be disciplined. Sleep should be nice and deep, and it should be recharging. Ideally, we should not have dreams during sleep, and we should wake up fresh and energetic the next day. Eye care. This is the area that I said it's very important. But again, as I said, this is just a jhalak for you all to see what's going on. You need to give your eyes some rest every day for 30 to 60 minutes. You can use a cold pack to reduce it. It should not be too cold. Ideally, you may require a 5 or 10 minute break between every hour on the computer. Reduce your video TV input on the screens or your phone input on the screens, and also ensure that your posture is correct so you're looking at the screen at eye level. Acupressure for health. I would like to get you all to do some clapping. Clap hard. We all tend to clap like this, but if you clap like this, you suddenly find your hands are energized. Similarly, walking barefoot helps. Boxing your ears helps. So anything and everything that you can do. Again, like I said, acupressure for health. I'm giving you the concept, something that we can talk about how to implement. Then there are lifestyle changes, like having a massage every week, focusing on your plan, making sure you follow it, executing your plan every day. Remember, don't live to eat, eat to live. So, eat only to survive and live, not live to eat. And do some meditation, proper meditation. Now, I'm touching on heritage here because all the things that I've listed above come from our heritage, from our Ayurvedic knowledge, from yoga, from Surya Namaskar, from our Vyayam Paddhati. Bharat had a great tradition of Vyayam Paddhati. Shivambu, which is urine therapy, Pranayam, which is breathing exercise, Dhyan is meditation, cooking. Our spice box is one of the most complex in the world, and Puja, Mantra, and Kirtan. Our heritage, the things listed above have been with us for over 10,000 years. They have been mentioned in the Vedas, Puranas, and all of Bharat used to abide by these rules to keep themselves healthy, wealthy, and wise. Bharat has always been known as the land of wise men. But today the world wishes to topple us with untrue facts and take credit for everything. The start of correcting this anomaly, expose the actual facts of our heritage, and return Bharat to its former glory is the lucky fortune of the young, the brave, and every one of you. By the time you grow up, Bharat will be a land of plenty, with better opportunities, better prospects, better health, better fitness, happier people, contented population, and a peaceful nation. So, the new normal. Your role in life is to be an active partner of this massive climb to excellence. I'll repeat it again. Your role in life is to be an active partner. You can't just sit on the sidelines of this massive climb to excellence. Everything you do should be perfect. So whatever you do, focus on it and try to do the best you can. Everything you learn should be sattvic. Everything you practice should be beneficial. Everything you design should be innovative and change people's lives. So the young, the brave, and every one of you, all of you, must study hard, work with passion, and work towards excellence and make Bharat great again for a few thousand years. Thank you very much. Namaskar. If there are any questions, if there is time permitting, we can have some questions. You've got my contact number and details below. You're welcome to contact me if you wish to follow up on any of these issues. Thank you.